heart is captivated. He has a very powerful experience. And Allah cast love in his heart for him. And this is the first thing that he says to him. He says, I love you. And then he says to me, أحبك الله الذي كما أحببتني. May Allah come to love you as you love me. He said, then what did I do? I complained to him about some of the problems that I was having, some of my humum and ahzan, some of the things that saddened me, some of the things that were troubling me. And he responded and said, is that a servant is in one of four states. There's no fifth. He says they're either in a state of blessing, tribulation, obedience, or disobedience. One of these four. There's no fifth, let alone anything else. He says, and if you're in a state of blessing, what you should do is to be grateful. And if you're in a state of tribulation, what you should do is be patient. And if you're in a state of obedience, what you should do is that be in a state of shuhud al-minnah, shuhud minnatihi alayk, that you see that as a blessing from Allah upon you that you don't deserve. And if you're in a state of disobedience, then what you should do is repent. He said, so I left his presence, and he said, it was as if that all of those sorrows and things that were troubling me was a garment that was taken off and never put on again in one sitting. He said, then he asked me sometime after that, and he said, how are you doing? كيف حالك? And he said, أفتش عن الهم فلا أجده. He said, I'm trying to find something to worry about, but there's nothing to worry about. And that's a very liberal translation. Fetish literally is to that look and search for something. In other words, that it's all gone. And then he quotes these beautiful lines of poetry, but then that Sayyidina Abbas and Mursi says to Ibn Ata'illah, ilzam, adhere to the path, stick to what you're doing. فَوَاللَّهِ لَإِن لَزَمْتَ لَتَكُونَنَّ مُفْتِيًا فِي الْمَذْهَبَيْنِ. If you continue upon this path, he says, by Allah, you will be a mufti in the two schools. The schools of Sharia and Haqiqah, of law and spiritual realities. And then he says, في علوم الظاهر وحقائق الباطن, in the outward sciences and the inner realities. So that Imam Ibn Ata'illah kept the companionship of his Sheikh Abu Abbas and Mursi for an extended period of time. And we learn about some of these incredible experiences